Hola everyone! Welcome to this week's live. Um Before we start anything, I just want to say how thankful and grateful I am for you guys. Especially the ones that are always so um warm and friendly whenever they message me or they comment or they post on our Facebook group and stuff. That really feels paano ba to? Like nakakawala ng pagod, to be honest. And also hearing from you guys and your success stories. I know a lot of you wanna remain anonymous and stuff because, ayaw nyo my evil eye or anything like that. But definitely, I'm so happy. We're reaching 100 clients soon for submissions, and I wanted to do like something for that. So I will announce that I think maybe like mid Feb, but definitely it's something that I want to show how grateful I am for this community and what it has done for me. And without further ado, we can start the live. I know we got here a little bit early, but I feel like I owe it to you guys for a longer live because we used to do the lives very long before. But now I think since there have been schedule conflicts and then we were traveling, ganyan, I always just do like 1 hour. Pero today, I'll try to make it a little bit longer, especially since this is a part two of last week's live where I had a guest with me who kind of explained a little bit about Europe, citizenship here, about the Spanish citizenship, the fast track for Filipinos, that type of stuff. So definitely that is, you know, 100% what I've been trying to like communicate ever since here on social media, ganyan, on the website, how nice it is that we have this option. And ano yung mga usually do's and don'ts. But we weren't able to finish because we were traveling. So I want to finish that before we get on to a lot of updates. So there are a lot of updates for December and January. Because like I said, especially in the consultation, ang mga delikado talaga na months to apply with the Digital Nomad Visa here in Spain is July, August, January, December. Kasi that's the time that there are usually updates, medyo mabagal yung administrative process. So, as much as possible, I tell people to avoid it. However, if meron naman, parang aware naman and medyo na aware naman and medyo na-prep, then definitely it's still doable. Wala naman yung problema. It's just a matter of if you are DIYing and you already feel overwhelmed with the DIY process, then definitely I would say na medyo kalmahan mo around those months. Ayun. Other than that, welcome you guys to this week's live where we talk about how to convert your Spain Digital Nomad Visa to the fast track 2-year fast track for Spanish citizenship for Filipinos. I know a lot of you find this interesting, and definitely last week we touched up on the subject a little bit, but I wanted to do more of a deep dive on things that you need to consider, especially if there are a lot of things out there that's not compiled in one go para makapag-decide ka. So for me, it took me a lot of months before deciding of okay, mag-apply ako Spain Digital Nomad Visa because I was comfortable in the Philippines. I had like a 2-bedroom, 2-story apartment. Even though most of that space, because I am a little bit of a hoarder. So I do have a lot of stuff, especially from a girl that grew up, not necessarily like poor, but we had our ups and downs. And I didn't get to like be like, even still now it's still hard for me to buy clothes and stuff like that, but definitely when I moved out when I was like 16, ang dami ko nang na-accumulate na appliances and stuff like that, so it was hard for me, not just materialistically, like to let go, but also I feel like I was emotionally attached to those stuff. Kasi parang, okay, etong rice cooker na to, ito yung parang rice cooker na bili ko with this, when I reach this salary or this vacuum, na-afford ko siya kasi ganito, ganyan. So, it was a lot like that. So, I understand that a lot of people are going back and forth pa din, whether they want to apply for the Spain Digital Nomad Visa, whether they can afford it, that type of stuff. Ayun. Other than that, let's start. Give me 1 second. Oh my God. Bingo! What are you doing? Shush, shush. Okay. Sorry, my dog is whining. We just got back kasi to the vet. Kasi pinapalitan yung bandages ng foot niya every day. So, right now, he can hear me talking and he just wants to cuddle a little bit. Ayun. So, let's start. Una sa lahat, yung something that a lot of people do ask me, and this is a very popular question sa group, our Facebook group, the DIY Facebook group, which we have link in my bio, is that paano yung taxes and social security in the Philippines, if Filipino ka, and then paano yung taxes and social security here in Spain. So first and foremost, if you are a freelancer in the Philippines, legally speaking, you're supposed to be filing for either a sole proprietorship or you are working as a self-employed professional. So technically, either of the two. Yung filing mo for BIR. Technically, lahat dapat yan na kinikita mo, invoices mo, dinedeclare yan, right? But I understand the hesitation of doing so. And it's a very complicated process. I'm not sure if they design it to be complicated because maybe they benefit off of that, like maybe penalties or baka business din ng mga BIR officials, yung mga nag-o-offer ng, parang fixer ng BIR and stuff, I don't know. But it definitely is an annoyingly hard process to deal with, especially since Philippines, you have to file quarterly and then you have to file annually, right? So that parang dalawa yon. And then of course for social security, separate pa yon sa SSS, and then technically you have to be paying kung ano yung match ng salary mo. But a lot of people like voluntary ganyan. Like for me, I just pay the minimum just so I have it. But not necessarily kasi though I believe in the social security system in the Philippines. Because, tignan mo nga yung PhilHealth, diba? So parang ganon. Not to be political or anything, but that's how I feel about it. But other than that, here in, let's say, nakakuha ka ng Spain Digital Nomad Visa and you moved here in Spain, a lot of the people's questions first is, magkano yung social security and taxes? So, una sa lahat, this will largely depend. First, kung gaano kalaki yung size ng family nyo, whether your adult dependents are working or yung husband, wife nyo, unmarried partners, elderly parents. Depends on that. Second is magkano yung kinikita mo per month. Yun. And then, saan ka nakatira? And then 4 is, ano yung mga tools na ginagamit mo or how much does it take to run your technically business. So technically, the Spain government kind of sees you as sole proprietor of your own business because you're freelancing. So kind of, you are your own entity, parang ganon. So there are tax deductibles. Like for example, if like here in our apartment, 1/3 of our rent is a tax deductible because I dedicate, one of the rooms as like my workspace. And then a partial amount of our electricity is a deductible. However, kasi dito, ang weird nung billing nung electricity and stuff. So, usually, hindi ko siya napapaabot sa invoices. Actually, dun sa annual ko na lang ginawang tax deductible. But definitely quarterly and annually din dito sa Spain. And then, of course, internet, For example, because I work as a web developer, there are a lot of apps and subscriptions that I have, not just with AI, but also with like creative stuff like Canva. And of course, to run the business, I have my own CRM, that type of stuff. So those I count as deductibles, as tax deductibles, because I do use them for work. So if you are the same, those are tax deductibles and you can declare them. Kasi that will lessen your taxes. Ngayon, with regards, ang dami kasi online na ito yung tax bracket, ganyan. I've never found anything yet that is actually consistent. Kasi, how do I say this? Iba-iba yung percentage based on anong type of autonomo ka, anong type ng ICA mo, yung parang type of work, that type of stuff. So, ang dami niyang layers. That's why on your first year here, as a Spain Digital Nomad Visa holder, I always recommend, na at least hire your tax accountant. I know it is a pain kasi you pay someone, extra, parang 50, 70 euros per month. Pero this assures you na, una, hindi mamamali yung tax filing. And second, you're not missing out on any tax deductibles that you could have been, benefiting from. Kasi they are the experts, after all, with regards to that. So, una sa lahat, with regards dun sa percentage, wala pa kasi online, to be honest, na I felt like, okay, this is same, it makes sense sa akin. I was scared that I'm gonna get taxed really high. And then I had a conversation with, like, it's a free consultation with one of the tax accountants here in Spain. And then they told me, oh, you will be around 20-21%. Around that time, because I was earning less then. But now I'm about 23-24%. Because I am earning a little bit higher na. But definitely, the higher your income is, the higher it goes. But it's not like 40% or anything like that. So like, for example, for me, I make around 3,500, 3,900. And I am around 24-25% depending on the month. And then quarterly and kino-compute. And then next month, so kunyari, January, February, March, you gave your invoices. Next month, April, katapusan, dinededuct yun sa bank mo. So, automatic siya na nadededuct sa bank mo. Ngayon, yung second na babayaran dito is your social security. So, that's very important because that's basically why they do the DNV. So, that we contribute to the economy of Spain. So, with this one, yung regards sa SS, meron kasing tinatawag na tarifa plana, which is parang on your first 12 months or your first year mo, it is flat rate na around 80 years yung sinasabi ng iba, but for me personally, it ranges about 87 to 88 euros yung na-charge sa akin. And then, ano din to, automatically debited in your bank account, your Spanish bank account. So, that's why it's important you have your Spanish bank account so that you'll be able to register for Social Security and taxes here in Spain. And then, after the first 12 months, it will actually depend how much you're earning. So, let's say you're like me, you're earning around, let's say, 3,500, 3,900, or let's say around that time, yung for a single applicant, I was earning around 2,800 to 2,900. Then, I was, on my second year, parang ang una kong binayaran nun is 289 euros per month. So, it is definitely big. However, this covers you after ng first 12 months na tarifa plana. This covers you for unemployment benefits, disability benefits. This also covers your retirement. Kasi if long-term talaga yung goal mo, I would definitely say worth it, yung Digital Nomad Visa. Kasi kung long-term yung goal mo, you plan on staying here, settling here, then definitely it's worth it to invest in that. Because here, they can actually, you can actually use your social security. Public healthcare is free. Some of the medical dental cost is free. Of course, hindi yung mga surgery to make you pretty or anything like that, or fillings. They're not free. Pero alam ko yung wisdom tooth na bunot itself, ganyan. I had infection in one of my root canals, and that we also like paid for free. I think parang binayaran lang namin is yung pain medicine for around 15 euros. But it was completely free. Yung pag-drain nila and everything like that. Pati yung pag-stitch and pagtanggal ng stitching. That was free. So definitely, it's a good system. And especially here on major cities where of course there are larger volume of people. However, konti lang kasi may empadron. Konti lang may social security card, to be honest, in Barcelona. So definitely, ang ano doon is hindi ganun katagal yung appointments. I think that's the reason why. Because I have a friend who lives in a different part of Spain na ang sabi niya, just for like something about, I'm not gonna do, that's too private. But some type of minor checkup, parang specific minor checkup, it's taking her about a month or two to get the appointment. However, for me, because I have a lot of existing conditions, like for example, I have PCOS and stuff like that. Nung I came here, first there was an appointment for like general checkup and stuff like that, like to give over yung documents ko, like hospital documents from the Philippines, to give it over to my GP, which is yung general practitioner, parang family doctor here. And then, based on that, they wanted to run some tests and stuff, and I didn't wait that long. Parang ang appointment ko noon ay, pumunta ako ng, I would say, November early, and then I got an appointment end of November. Ganon. Naalala ko ng November 26 yun, yung appointment ko na yun. But yeah, definitely, it is like that, and I didn't pay anything. Like, not a single dime. Ang ano lang binabayaran usually is yung gamot, and even yung gamot is subsidized. So, you only pay parang very little amount. Like, parang hindi pa kami tumaas sa meds dito more than 15 or 20 euros. Of course, it would be better if you follow one of my friends, Avi, here on TikTok, because she talks a lot more about that, and she is more like, you know, well-versed with regards with that stuff. Other than that, ayun yung benefits ng having social security, and you don't have to have private insurance anymore. Of course, private insurance is good if you want things to be fast, like you want to be in the beginning of the line. If you want to be like, okay, I want to be seen now, I don't want to go for appointments, I want to go to a different hospital, like a fancier hospital. Of course, it helps that you have your private insurance. But personally, for me, I only kept it because it is linked to my dog's liability insurance, which I feel like as a responsible dog owner, you should have here in Europe. My dog is almost gonna be 7 years old. And for me, I feel like he's starting to get into that stage where we are at the vet every other month, ganan. So it definitely helps that we have his insurance, because I feel like it just makes sense. And wala kaming binabayaran, kahit gamot actually. But yung how my insurance works with Feder is that it's reimbursable. So we do have to pay first. However, yung visits and stuff like that, we don't. But with medicine and stuff, we have to be like reimbursable siya. Ayun. And then, of course, he is dachshund. So he has prone injuries sa spine niya. So that's why we opted to get insurance. So in case he needs a major surgery, we could at least afford it. Ayun. Other than that, yun yung mga binabayaran here in Spain with regards like sa legal stuff. Ngayon, let's move on to another question which is still related to taxes and social security. Paano yung social security and taxes mo sa Philippines once you arrive here? first and foremost, yung social security mo in the Philippines, we do have a bilateral agreement with Spain, pero hindi yun nakikarry over. So, I would suggest if you are planning to stay here for the long term, you can stop paying for that. Or if you just wanna, retire in the Philippines or masyado ka ng maraming contributions, sayang naman kung ititigil mo, just pay the minimum and you can still continue having your SSS in the Philippines. Ngayon, I think 700 yun. Ayan. Ngayon, yung taxes. So, you have two options. You can either still file for taxes in the Philippines, pero magiging zero yung balance mo kasi mas mataas yung percentage here in Spain and you're a tax resident here. So, meron ka pa ding magiging ITR nun, pero zero na. Kasi, ang i-attach is yung filing mo dito sa Spain. But that makes sure na, okay, even if nandito ka sa ibang bansa, you can still, get loans or maganda pa din yung magiging credit score mo in the Philippines if you have ITR. However, if wala kang ITR and you don't wanna pay na sa Philippines but you used to pay in the Philippines, you have to do cessation of activity, which is basically saying na, hey, I'm leaving the Philippines, I'm gonna be a tax resident in Spain, I don't have to pay taxes anymore, I'm gonna close my BIR account. You have to make sure to do this because otherwise you will be penalized for not closing it and it remaining active. Ayun. Other than that, let's start answering muna some questions because I know you guys are already here asking questions. Bakit tumaas yung minimum income requirement? Family of 4 pa naman. Yeah, so like I said, I feel like I keep reiterating this always. Tumataas talaga siya every year. Tumataas siya every end of January and it takes effect immediately. So kahit yung mga pending applications right now, before pa kami nag-submit, nung nagre-ready pa lang kami, discovery call pa lang or free consultation call pa lang, I just tell them na, hey, since your timeline is this date, I need to tell you na etong magiging minimum income requirement would be higher than what you are making right now. So, I would suggest na maybe ask for a raise, ganyan, at least ito. So, we kind of expected this and I feel like I reminded people enough na expected talaga na tataas siya. Actually, what I told people is it might raise about 3 to 5%. So, I would suggest i-ready nyo yung 5% na increase kasi we don't know if tataas ba ng ganun kalaki. Pero usually kasi 3 to 5% talaga siya based on data from other years. But it's good. That's only 3.1%. Most of the minimum income requirement deficit for some people, that would be enough for savings yung i-cover doon. So basically, if you are below the minimum income requirement to only about 200 euros, you can cover it up with savings. So how it's computed is 200 euros times 36, meaning etong 36 months that you're staying in Spain with the 3-year residence, nako-cover yun. Mako-cover mo siya kahit may deficit ka sa minimum income requirement. Ayun. And definitely, I'm not sure if I should say it's good or it's not good. Of course, I'm pro people, coming here with the Digital Nomad Visa. But if you think about it, in the long run, it's good that they have a system like this na tumataas yung minimum wage every year. Because that means when you start working here in Spain, hindi ka maaabuso. Alam mo yun? Laging maa-account yung sweldo mo for inflation. Kasi of course, inflation happens everywhere in the world. And it's good that at least they're doing something to help minimum wage workers to be treated correctly. Kasi unlike sa Philippines, parang ang tagal na yung minimum wage, hindi na nagalaw, ganyan. Kasi very capitalistic yung approach kasi most of our senators, most of our congressmen owns businesses, so they don't want minimum wage to go up. So, that's how it works. But of course, I understand the frustration, especially if there are a lot of people that message me. I got about 60 messages from just the Facebook page of people asking me okay, paano to? Ano yung gagawin? So, what you can do if hindi carry yung savings, pag masyadong malaki, is to postpone. It's better to postpone it. I know medyo may nagastos na kayo and stuff like that. Maybe you already booked your flight and stuff like that. I understand. But it's better to quit while you're ahead. Like, i-postpone nyo muna yung lipad nyo, and then make up for the minimum income requirement and then apply. Kasi for sure, if mababa kayo sa minimum income requirement, you will get denied. Like, walang joke chat. Like, I'm not like discouraging you or anything, guys. It's just, think about it. Kung papalipad na kayo dito, yung Airbnb nyo, yung just living here would cost you, and then yung pag-apply nyo, yung anxiety nyo sa pag-a-apply nyo, yung mga ganon, don't bother yourself if masyadong mababa from the minimum income requirement. Kasi hindi sila like lenient on that. They're only lenient when it's a little bit, especially family of 4, family of 5, family of 3, tas konti lang yung difference, then that's fine. Pero kung ano kayo, like kahit malaking family or small family or single applicant, if mababa kayo sa minimum income requirement, they do flag that. So, I definitely advise against it. Ngayon, another question is, ano pong job nyo dyan? So, I'm a product manager / web developer. Ano po yung pathway kung gusto ko mag-work sa Spain? At least 1 year lang. So, this will depend. There is, of course, the traditional work visa. There's the auxiliary visa. There's the Digital Nomad Visa. Like, this will depend. This is such a broad question. But Yeni Isle, so it's YENI space ISLE. Basically, you go to her page. She just posted a bunch of like different visas here in Spain. And I feel like that would give you some clarity on your options first. And then, okay, let's see. Okay, and then, hello, Alex. Have you heard back dun sa nag-post about sa additional docs na bank cert? No, I haven't heard back from them yet. So, but to be honest with you, there is something there. There's some miscommunication there. So, it's either they gave, because the thing is, they accept online bank statements. So, it doesn't make sense unless there is something in their bank statement that's actually like wrong or actually doesn't make sense. So that's the only time they ask for a certified true copy. But the sealed one, I'm not even sure what that means. Saan ma-check yung income requirements? So I do already uploaded it on our website, www.ateinspain.com. We have it posted sa Ate in Spain Facebook page, sa DIY guide group. We also updated it there. And I made a video here on TikTok explaining it last night lang. Okay, and then Ate, yung about sa dependent na di kasama, ano po process sa BLS? What if may Schengen visa na po siya? I would suggest sumama na siya if may Schengen visa, because the process in BLS is hindi siya straightforward. Basically, you do another application. They can ask additional documents. So, just as a case study that for one of our recent clients, ito yung mga recent clients, they moved here with just yung mom, yung dad, and their adult dependent na kid. And then yung minor naiwan muna because pasukan and stuff like that. And also they were like, baka baka hindi ma-stress lang yung bata, ganyan. So iwan muna natin siya. And then they applied and then they got approved. And then now, take note the kid is only in like grade 2 level. So I think he's about like 7, 8 years old. And then we provided all the documents that basically we submitted here already. Like birth certificate, yung forms. Like we did a traditional like submission for a dependent in BLS. And we of course showed yung TIA ng mom, yung social security registration, and then we also showed yung address na nila here in Spain and stuff like that. And ito sinubmit siya late December, and hanggang ngayon wala pa ring response. The last response that we got from them is an additional document request early in January. And parang ang tinatanong is kailangan makita ulit yung bank statements ng mom na na very recent, na dapat, and yung ITR, hinahanap, ganyan. So, I wouldn't risk it with the consulate na dumaan dun yung proseso. Because they are a little bit of a loose cannon right now on what is the correct process or ano yung protocol. Unlike sa UHE, na you kind of already know the protocol when it comes to applying. Ayun. Ano po, limit ng shortfall sa income requirement? I would suggest 200 euros lang. Ox lang ba sa digital banks nakalagay ang savings and not sa traditional banks? Yes. So, a lot of clients, we don't even show savings because if pasok naman sila sa minimum income requirement, then they don't really need to show their savings. But of course, if saktong-sakto lang sila, ganyan, just in case to make up for the, kasi usually USD nila nare-receive yung ano. So just to make up kasi medyo nagka-crash na yung USD right now versus the euro. So definitely we show some savings. I just recommend them na, okay, kung magkano man yung savings mo talaga, iwan mo na lang muna dyan sa Wise. Ganon. And then, you can use your peso. Because after all, you have to use your peso before you leave, diba? So, kung hindi naman ganon kalakihan yung savings nyo, then leave some nung gagastosin nyo talaga dito sa euro account nyo. And usually, that works well. Even sa bank statements that matches the payslips, wala naman silang problema sa Wise or anything like that. So, it was really weird what the girl mentioned sa group, dun sa DIY Guide group, na hinanapan sila ng sealed bank statements certified by the bank, ganon. Ate yung, okay, I think I've answered this one. Okay, how much dapat ang savings? Walang necessarily savings unless you have a shortfall. And kung may shortfall ka, it's the shortfall times 36 months. Ate, which means sa consulate yung process, hindi na sa UHE po. Yes, I would suggest do the whole process in UHE. Instead of dadaan ka pa sa consulate. They are very much, I think, miscommunicating a lot of the documents and stuff. So, I don't trust it. But, you know, if yun lang talaga yung option nyo, hindi talaga maisasama yung dependent, then you have to just trust the process. But understand that it might take more than 2 months to just hear back from them. Ayun. And then, what's the question here? Okay, let me check. Ayan. Okay, saan pa nakatira? I live right now in Barcelona po. Okay. Would you say na better po yung process now since bumalik na yung original director sa UHE? It is a double-edged sword because there was a press conference in Cordoba like late last year that clarified a lot of the requirements, which is good. But also, I think there is some buzz about people taking advantage of the Digital Nomad Visa, and they are now refining the loopholes that is on it. So that's why people now are getting revoking. I haven't experienced it with my clients because makulit ako eh. Like I tell them, register na kayo Social Security and stuff like that. But definitely, I've heard na nagsasend na sila ng warning of revoking the visas of people na hindi pa rin nagre-register for Social Security and Autonomo, and it's been months na. So definitely that's a no-no. You have to register at least, you know, like 2 months, like I would say, like at least 2 months after your approval. Kasi tapos na yung TA appointment mo dapat, tapos, di ba, meron ka na most of the documents to be able to register. So it's not believable, especially to them, na may reasons ka pa to not register. So, and also, the letter of committing to register for Autonomo, you say there, the moment you get approved, you will register. So, meron silang grounds talaga to revoke your visa. Ayun. But definitely, I wouldn't say, I don't know. I wouldn't say like, it's it's better, but definitely there are, like, when this director came, dyan na proof of self-employed registration. Dyan bigla yan bumalik. So, ay not bumalik, but biglang nag-come up. So, they are being slowly like refining the loopholes. Talaga. Ayun. I am a freelancer po. How to take advantage po ng Digital Nomad Visa. So, you have to look at the website because there are some qualifications first on what type of freelancer you are, that type of stuff. And gaano ka-stable yung contracts mo. Do you meet the minimum income requirement, that type of stuff. So, check out www.atainspain.com/DIY/guide or -guide. We have the DIY guide there that's for free. You can check your minimum income requirement, whether you qualify, that type of stuff. And then, paano yung process? Uhe, as in uhe, din po ba tawag ng taga-Spain sa UGE? Yeah. Yun yung tawag nila. So, hindi ko yung gawa-gawa. Okay, I think I've answered this one. As early as when po maging entitled sa free healthcare? Once you register for Social Security, yung proof of Social Security registration, you just bring that together with your TIE or your passport and your padron or your empadronamiento, yung parang registration mo ng address, parang barangay certificate. You just bring that to your Centro de Salud. Kung ano man yung parang public hospital that's in your area, yun yung parang sakop sa'yo. And then you get your card to be able to just book. Here, it works different kasi in different regions. Here in Barcelona, I got that card and we have an app. And then dun na lang kami nagbubook ng appointments or pwede rin dun online consultation. Tapos kung you need to come in, then ano. Tapos meron din yung parang emergency line. Ano pong niche nyo? So, I'm in web development. Saan po kayo nag-apply ng DMV? PH or sa Spain na? So, I've applied 2024 in the consulate. It was definitely an easier, more straightforward process than how it is now. So, that's why I tell people to apply na for the 3 year here. And the sad news with the 1 year is that around that time, there was no clear instruction on whether we qualify for the residency count for the 1 year. And apparently, the 1 year Digital Nomad Visa doesn't count unless you start paying taxes. But however, if you do kasi yung taxes, medyo ma-waive pa yung tarifa plana, ganyan. Meron siyang nuances. So, that's why I don't recommend applying na in the consulate. Just go ahead and apply in Spain. You get the 3 year residency. It's much faster. It's much straightforward. And alam mo na talaga yon, counted yon towards citizenship. Ano pang benefits ng isang digital nomad sa Spain? For me, it's just living here is really great. But I wouldn't say na like it's perfect, you know, but definitely based on how I used to live in the Philippines where makakaipon ako, like, and then it's gone the moment I go to the hospital or like something happens, ganon. So, I didn't love that. I save a little bit lower now. Parang from before, nasa-save ko about 40 to 30%. Now, it's about 25 to 30% yung nasa-save ko. But at least, I know that's actual savings. It's not like for emergency purposes or something like that. Like, it can be for emergency purposes, but not like simple, like, lagi ako, like, especially when I was younger, I get UTIs a lot. Then, every time I go to the hospital, it's like 9K, 10K, ganun. So, for just administering antibiotics and pain meds. And, yun, for me, yun yung biggest pro for me, yung healthcare. But more than that, I like the way they live life here. I'm not gonna be cliche and say, oh, the Spain life is so much slower and stuff. For me, it's more of yung, para bang, I want to be cliche, but it's very cliche that people are just much chiller here. And you don't, I don't know, you don't get to feel bad for enjoying stuff as much, in the Philippines, where I feel it came to a point na there was so much anxiety about just, homelessness, about bad news every time you hear it in the news. Parang lagi na lang, bad news, bad news, bad news. Ganon. So, parang nakaka-down yun. And for me, I didn't like that when living in the Philippines, And here, like, public transportation is great. I don't know if it's just me and something in my brain, but I love trains. Every time we go, even outside of Europe, I always like, can we maybe take a train instead of a flight? I know it's longer, it's a little bit more like hassle, pero I really like it. But pros siguro din talaga is that you aim for the citizenship. Like, I'm not gonna lie, that's my whole purpose of coming here. If not for that, I feel like social security and taxes wouldn't be as beneficial for me. Ayun. Kapag po ba mag-asawa tapos isa lang nakapasa sa exam sa citizenship, need ba both passer? Walang exam for citizenship. So we can, actually, that's a good segue to go to our next thing. But basically, ano ba yung kailangan mo na exams for citizenship? So, not necessarily may exam for citizenship, but there is, of course, first, yung language exam. You have to be A2 level in DELE. So, that means you can understand and at least form simple sentences in Spanish, which I feel like if you have been residing here for 2 years, you absolutely can do this as long as you immerse and you put some effort into it, at least 2 hours a day, then definitely hindi ka magkakaproblema dito. Now, the other exam is called the CCSE exam. So this is to test how well you integrated in Spain. Because after all, you want to become a citizen. So they test you here with different historical facts about Spain, government facts about Spain, about regions in Spain. So think about it as parang Hekasi exam. Alam niyo yung parang anong region number ang Davao or something like that. Yung mga ganon. So, sino yung presidente? Ganon. They don't have presidents here, but like, yeah. So, sino yung gobernador in this region? Like that type of stuff. Ilang regions yung meron sa Spain. So, it's usually 25 questions. And they do publish, I think it's about 300. Give me 1 second na. I think it's about they publish like 300 questions and answers. Tapos, aaralin mo yon. And then, out of those 300 questions, 25 lang yung pipiliin nila na lalabas for the exam. And then, you just have to get 15 out of 25. So, I feel like that's the bare minimum they're asking to check if you integrated well in Spain. Which I say, if you are living here, and you put a little bit of effort, then for sure, makakapasa kayo dito. Walang problema. Other than that, yun lang naman yung sa exam. Of course, they check yung residency mo talaga. So, other than your residency, yung residency letter mo, yung TM mo, they also check yung padron mo. Like, kung talagang naka-registered address ka ba for the past 2 years. Sometimes, if may mga problems ka sa ganon, you have to like show more proof that you were in Spain. Like, maybe your bank statements na showing na, okay, ito Mercadona, ganito, ganyan. So, those are just a few examples na I've heard. And of course, there is this thing na hindi ka pwedeng nasa labas ng Spain for more than 45 days out of the year. This is because, this is very conservative number. Some people say it's 90 days. But I'd rather be safe than sorry. Kasi gusto ko matapos na. Like yung 2 years and then I'm done. So, 45 days out of the year. This includes, babalik ka ng Pilipinas for 15 days. And then babalik ka. So, it doesn't have to be like sunod-sunod na 45 days. So, every single day na you're out of Spain is counted to that 45 days. And kailangan mababa kayo for 45 days out of 12 months. And this does not start the moment you arrive here, ha? So it starts from approval. So make sure na you stay here na after you get approved. So this is usually because they want us, of course, know, like, how did you integrate kung wala ka dito most of the year? You know, like, they want to see na you actually like living here in Spain, that you are here in Spain. Otherwise, people will just take advantage of it, to be honest. So, definitely, 2 years lang yan. So, taste muna kayong, like, hindi masyadong umuwi-uwi. Ganon. So, ayun, before that, let's answer some questions. Kasi, what is your pathway to go to Spain? Spain Digital Nomad Visa po. Yung mother ko po, pagkasama namin may test pa din po ba? Senior na po siya. Yes, so may test. Ang wala lang test is yung mga kids. Maganda po ba manirahan sa Alicante? Wife po ako with 2 toddler. What can you say po? Yeah, I am thinking of moving to Alicante. Not just because my friends are there, but I'm more of a beach girly. Like, for the people that were here very early on, here on TikTok, when I started posting, you know, I'm always somewhere in the beach. I deleted those personal posts na. But, yeah, I love the beach so much. So, I feel like I would really settle well in Alicante. And we've been there na multiple times, and I've always had fun. I like the community there. They're very warm, they're very friendly, and I like the weather there. It's not too cold. Like, here in Barcelona, it gets cold. Like, it gets cold during bare months. Even now, it's just January already, but it's still very cold. Sometimes it does snow here, but it's not like thick snow, like the ones we get when I come and visit Germany or Norway, that type of thing. Ano pong meron kung wala silang presidente? Sino po namumuno? It's a prime minister. Okay. Hi ate, once you're in Spain under the Digital Nomad Visa, does the increase in minimum salary apply pa rin po sa'yo? Yes, technically, yes. So, but, to be honest with you, like I said, baka ito yung sign nyo that you need to be asking for a raise every single year. Like, kasi tumataas yung presyo ng everything and stuff like that. So, definitely, not that they check this because, of course, they don't really, like, have much of manpower to double check everyone, but it's good to, alam mo yun, like, to be compliant, especially for your citizenship. Mamaya hindi ka compliant, and then they will see that, then that will have problems with your citizenship, diba? And also, if you are just, for example, yung citizenship nyo medyo matagal yung process, and then you have to renew your Digital Nomad Visa, kailangan makikita nila doon na pasok ka pa doon sa minimum income requirement for that year. Okay. Is it better po ba mag-Schengen visa muna po than sa Spain mag-apply ng DNV? Yes, 100%. How much po yung living expense per month versus Philippine peso? Ask ko lang po sana. Maybe I'll do a video on this because it's really hard to think in peso as well. Especially very, yung peso ngayon? Ganon. I'm so surprised and so heartbroken na it reached unto 70. I used to remember when because I have a European client. I used to remember when yung exchange rate is around 56. And then ngayon 70 na siya. Like, oh my god, the state. Ayun. I'm not gonna think too much about it. But this is what I mean with regards with, like, I have a very love-hate relationship with the Philippines. So, because as much as you love it, it's very hard to love. Parang kang nasa toxic relationship with your own country. Because, oh my God, ngayon parang 70.6, ganun siya. So, that means magsa-71 na. So, nakakaloka yun. And especially for me, that I am still sending money to my parents, you know, and some family members and stuff. So, that's really sad. Next tayo. Is there an age requirement for the DNV? No. As long as you're over 18 and you're not retirement age. Need po ba prior pumunta sa dyan, may digital job na po? Yes. So, that's how you're gonna get evaluated based on the stability of your contracts, how much you're earning, ganon. Okay. Then, let's go to the new ones. How much is the salary requirement for DNV? So, now, we can go to that actually. Since this is an update, let's go to that. 1 second. Okay. So now the new minimum income requirement for a single applicant, and this is computed in 12-month payments. So if you're paying weekly or bi-weekly, medyo mas mababa dito. But it's now 2,849 euros per month gross. So this is like before taxes. For single applicant plus one dependent, it's 3,917 per month. For single applicant plus 2 dependents, it's 4,273 per month. For single applicant plus 3 dependents, it's 4,629 euros per month. And single applicant with 4 dependents, it's 4,985 euros per month. And for single applicant plus 5 dependents, it's 5,341 euros per month. So, nakalagay din sa website yung peso equivalent niya as of January 29, 2026. Definitely check that out, guys. But we are planning to, I'm not sure, maybe you guys can enlighten me which would work better. Either a webinar, but I feel like a webinar just feels too corporate, and that's not really my brand. I'm more of like, I want you guys to be comfortable talking to me, to tell me your problems, and I feel like if it's recorded, you know, it's gonna be posted online, it's not gonna be good. So I feel like maybe a stream would be better kasi anon pa din. So I was thinking of doing a stream, but I'm still working out the kinks of how it would work here in TikTok kasi vertical siya. And I want to be able to present to you guys yung DIY guide natin na updated, so that if you're planning on moving on in Spain with the Digital Nomad Visa for 2026, we'll be able to do so. So I'll probably do kind of a live stream instead of a webinar, and then we'll upload that live stream din naman sa YouTube channel. Because we always upload itong mga live there. Next, when will you be eligible to apply for citizenship? So after you finish your 2 years of residency. And thank you so much, ate, sa guide for our DIY journey here. Aw, thank you so much. You're so nice. Thank you for saying thank you. Can you speak Tagalog? Opo, I can speak Tagalog fully. It's just, ang hirap magsalita ng Tagalog, especially me, because I have US clients, and my boyfriend is, speak English. So, it's a little bit hard to get out of that sometimes. Pero during this live, I try to my best to speak Tagalog. Even though a lot of people do nagre-request na mag-English ako so that it can help more people. I totally understand that 100%. But it's just, sometimes pag Tagalog yung question, it's easier to just speak Tagalog. Required po ba ang ITR for Schengen visa application? Planning to apply sa DN visa UHE? No. So, ang dami naming client na, because we do offer Schengen visa as well na applications and stuff. So, ang dami naming client na hindi naman nagpapasa ng ITR. Because it's kind of a requirement, but not really. Okay. Dito na po kami sa Alicante, waiting sa result ng DNV, pumasok kami Schengen visa. Oh my God! Congrats, Del! Advance congrats na yan. Okay, I think we do this. Okay. Ayan. Hello po, for citizenship count. Okay lang naman mag-travel within EU, no? Hindi naman traceable. Yeah, technically speaking, but who knows? Maybe they do have a tracing. Ako ganyan. Ganyan yung utak ko. Like, kasi my boyfriend lives in Germany. So, we're like, we have to go back and forth kasi there's the 9180 rule, stuff like that. And he has more flexibility, so he comes here to Spain more often than not than I go there. But of course, like for example, like last week we went to Berlin to go to a concert, and I was like, okay, walang EES, And then I was like, okay, walang border check or anything like that. And I was still like, I wonder if kontsaba nila yung airlines or something like that. But I know it's probably not. It's probably not. I mean, I don't think they have that, they will put too much effort into that because, you know, you can prove your existence here in Spain, like, through documents and stuff. So, I don't think they'll be that thorough, but that's just my brain. May kilala na po ba kayong may approval na for citizenship from DNV? May kilala na akong pending yung application. But for DNV, wala pa. Kasi this launch, like, 2023, and around end pa siya, medyo nag-boom, especially for Filipinos, ganyan. So, I would think na ngayon pa lang talaga nag-a-apply yung mga nauna. Kakarating ko lang po ng Madrid, mag-lodge pa lang po ako ng application. Oh, congrats! Agad! What's the best and worst thing about working as a digital nomad in Spain? The best thing is that the internet never fails me, or there's no brownout at all. Never had a blackout ever here for like almost 2 years na ako nagsistay here and never had a blackout. And then best thing about it is, how do I explain this? It's because it depends to sa client mo. But for me, first, one of my clients, I work European time. And then one of my clients, I work EST time. So, hindi na ako nagpupuyat. Before, puyat na puyat ako lagi. Lagi akong pagod. I always thought because I was a crazy person in college. Like, sobrang ano ako nun. Like, sobrang mag-review and stuff like that, madaling araw talaga. So, I always thought I was just maybe a night person. Alam mo, yung mga person na ginawang personality, yung pagiging night person and stuff. So, when I got into freelancing, I was like, oh, I can do this. Like, oh, I'm able to do it. Like, ganun. But I didn't realize na, wow, the significant difference of my energy levels now. Like, it took me like, I was here for almost more than 6 months before I started in Spain. But that's mainly because I was hesitating. Pero to be honest, guys, yung first 3 months ko here was just catching up. Like, I suddenly feel weird na, bakit ako sobrang, like, excited? Ang dami ko energy. Gusto namin mag-ikot-ikot ng Europe. Ganun, for the first 3 months, sobrang daming energy. Tapos, I can bring my laptop everywhere kasi ang bilis ng internet, kahit nasa phone lang nakakonect, ganyan. Or, for example, sa trains, merong wifi. Sa public spaces, may wifi na usable. Alam mo yon. So, ayun, sobrang happy nung heart ko with that, nung first 3 months. And then, I just thought it was excitement or an adrenaline of like, wow, I'm living in Europe. Yeah, ganun. So, parang, ganun. Akala ko yun lang siya. And then, after like, about nung pang 4th month, 5th month, 6th month, I was like, oh, I just have so much more energy now. I started getting into baking. Ang dami ko nang ginagawa na before, to be honest, I work, sleep, and then party hard on the weekends. Ganon. Parang, not party hard. Ganon. But in a sense, like, I do everything I want on the weekends. Kung matulog ako 24 hours. Walang ganon. So, kung lalabas kami, naka-planned yan to the T. Kasi very itinerary person ako eh. So, medyo type A ako in that regard. So, if may travel kami, sige, travel tayo buong weekend. Ganon. So, I was like that. But I was a zombie basically, Mondays to Fridays. So, and I wasn't even working that much, to be honest with you guys. Like, most of my work, kasi dami akong clients nun eh. I cut back on clients after moving here actually because I realized like, I'm missing out. I'm only young ones, you know, ganon. So, definitely, nabawasan yung workload ko. Pero before I was working probably hardcore 6 hours. So, it's not even that much. Tapos, wala na. Parang zombie na, ganun. Like, and I have my dog, so we go out naman on walks and stuff. But, yeah, I didn't get much exercise. I hate walking. Ganon. Tapos, the biggest testament to this is, after a year of living here, and we did my follow-up checkup on my PCOS situation, that type of stuff, I got regular na. Like, regular na ako, like, after, like, 8 months of living here, but then we wanted to see if my polyps or anything like that. But then, so after I got into the doctor, parang 1 year of living here, it was gone. So that means it was just really the stress and maybe the lifestyle I had in the Philippines. That's why I had PCOS. And now I'm off my medications now. So I think yun yung biggest testament with that. So talagang yung time difference, I think, was really like crazy, which I always thought it's not. And I don't drink coffee pa. So, alam mo yun, like, if you think about it, I try to be as clean living as I could, even when I was in the Philippines. And still, I feel like, malaki pala talaga yung effect nun. Alam mo yun? Kahit nakikita mo naman siya, science says so, na mas mahimbing yung tulog mo in the morning and stuff. I always thought like, oh, because I have this like, yung parang heavy, like eye mask and stuff, and I try like my sound machine, tapos naka loop yung earplugs, ganyan. So I try my best na ganon, pero apparently you know, like they know better. Science knows better na mas better yung sleep mo when it's nighttime. Ayun. I hope that's the best thing. Worst thing about working here is it's how do I say this? I am very much an introvert as a person. If you knew me in person, if you see me ever, or we meet somewhere down the road, you know, we're organizing a meetup in Madrid soon. If you meet me, I basically like a wallflower. You know, I don't try not to take too much attention and stuff. And if you talk to me, I'll talk to you, of course. I'm not rude. But in a sense, like, if no one talks to me, I'm okay with it. Like, I'm still gonna have fun, just people watching and just being in that energy, ganyan. But I think here, that was a struggle in the first few months. Especially my boyfriend cannot come visit nung first 3 months, ganyan, kasi he was busy with work. He's like an engineer in Germany, so he does have time off, but he had like ongoing projects and stuff that he had to finish and stuff like that. So the first 3 months ko dito, I would go in like cafes and stuff, and you would meet friends, but everyone feels like transitionary friends. Because most of the digital nomads that are in co-working spaces are here for only a few days, a few weeks, ganyan. So, I never really made a friend. And then I met, like, and I shared my journey and stuff online. And I met, you know, my beautiful, beautiful friends. And it's just nice to, even though I already, like, was done with, you know, like, yung Digital Nomad Visa ko, and they were still in the process. They were asking me about ABCD. That's how it started. You guys have them to thank of pushing me to start NATIN Spain, creating the DIY guide, and making me realize how this is such a life-changing thing, and it's nice to be a part of that. Even if it's like, I don't know you guys, you know. So you have them to thank, to be honest. But I found them, and yeah, for me, it's more of, if introvert ka, you really need to, you know, get out there and like talagang itry mo na mag-mingle to make friends, ganon. It's not gonna happen like instantaneously because everyone's busy with their lives, especially at our age. You know, we're adults. Some of us have families already, so they're pretty busy with their lives. So you cannot assume na you are at the center of the world. Of course, your friends love you very much, like 100%. But you're not the center of their world. They have their own stuff they're going through, they're dealing with. And it's hard to like just be the person na you're just waiting for someone to come up to you, ganyan. So for me, that was the hard part. And especially, I came here with no knowledge of Spanish at all. And it was hard. Barcelona too is like, a lot of people are English speakers here, so it was a bit easier. But of course, I'd always tell clients if they're moving to Alicante, Salamanca, Zaragoza, Oviedo, to study a little bit of Spanish before going. Because definitely, it will be hard to adjust in the first few months, especially if you're moving as a single applicant. And I'm glad because actually my clients befriend each other, you know, like, or in the group, people are starting like, hey, mag-double tayo, like kasabay na mag-a-apply and stuff like that. That's good. That's how friendships here are built. And the Digital Nomad Visa community here are very supportive, they're very warm, especially yung mga Filipinos. Kasi hindi naman tayo nag-aagawan ng client or something eh. So, it's just a positive community overall. So, you'd really enjoy it if you just put yourself out there. Ang dami ng sinabi, di ba? Ayun, okay. Let's go to questions. Mas okay po ba mag-lodge ng application sa Spain or dito sa Pinas? Sa Spain po, 100%. Need po ba kasama pets if pupunta ng NVQSD para sa pet export? Need din po ba appointment sa kanila? No need ng appointment, hindi sila need na kasama. Kailan po kayo na-approve for DNV? It was on 2024. So, Q2 ng 2024. Q2? Q3. Q3 ng 2024. Pwede po ba kayo mag-work ng corporate job pag naging citizens of Spain na kayo? Yes, of course. Kasi citizen ka na. You are not, wala ka ng anything, you're the same power as any other citizen here in Spain na was born here. So, you get all the same rights as them. Yung 3 years na po yun, kasama na yung pag-apply sa citizenship, or after 3 years dun palang pwede. So, you actually need a valid residency while applying for the citizenship. So, dapat yung first 2 years nyo dito, after nun, mag-apply na agad kayo ng citizenship. Para meron kayong at least mga excess pa na a few months until, para hintayin yung result ng citizenship. And usually, they say it takes 3 to 6 months. Okay. Oh, introvert. MBTI. I actually don't know. Kailan po? Okay. Thanks for sharing, ate. So nice to hear the change. Glad you're less stressed and healthier. Yeah, definitely. Thank you so much. I don't think if I'm healthier or not, because I feel like I've been trying to lose weight and I couldn't. Because I feel like, I mean, I'm in that age that I might probably get married soon and have kids soon, and I want to be healthy for them, you know? So I'm trying to be a little bit healthier then. But definitely the stress is at a 0 right now. Like, I just be chilling. Also, thankfully, I rarely have a client that's really pain. So almost all of my clients are like super nice, which I think, God, I think ito na yung balik sa akin for everything that happened to me on my childhood. So, yun na yung balik sa akin. Yun yung good karma ko. Ganon. How much po dapat salary para ma-approve sa visa? So, we just talked about that. It depends if you have dependents. But for a single applicant, in 2026, it's 2,849 euros per month. Hindi ko pa siya memorize. So, I need to have my codigo a little. Kasi kahagabi pa lang siya to na-announce. After ma-approve na DNV, saka na po ako mag-sign ng lease para sa bahay. Some of my clients already signed it, even though wala pa yung approval letter. Because technically, you can't sign it without the approval letter. But, to be safe, I would say wait for it. You know, kasi malaki din yung down payment mo and stuff like that. But, if you are fully confident, then you can sign a lease. Wala namang problema. That makes things a lot easier for you. Mas okay po ba mag-lodge? Okay. How old are you po? So, I am 26 now. I just had my birthday last month. December. Ayan. Mas okay po ba? Okay. I think I answered this. Okay. With regards sa Schengen visa, yes, you do need return ticket. So, usually what I tell clients is book cancelable ticket. Like, for example, sa Emirates, put it on your credit card and then you just refund it after you get through immigration. And I think it's only 100 USD, yung parang cancel fee. And then with regards, of course you can book a dummy one, but I wouldn't risk it with immigration. You know, they know every play in the book when you're lying. So as much as possible, prepare everything, be over-prepared. And then I suggest book a stay for a month. Because usually it takes a month naman talaga yung approval. And then apply agad kayo the moment you land. dapat ready na lahat ng documents nyo, na practice nyo paano sasubmit. And then, the moment you land, submit nyo na. And then, now, you have 30 days to wait for it. And most likely than not, if it's a straightforward case, you'll probably get it naman within that time frame. Okay. How much yung minimum salary mo dapat to be qualified for Nomad Visa? We have it on the website if you have dependents. But if you're a single applicant, it's 2,849 euros per month. Okay. Mahaba po ba pila sa NVQSD or mabilis lang po process? Oh, it depends. Depende yan sa day, sa time, ganyan. Bakit po 3 years pag sa Spain tapos sa Pinas 1 year lang? Mas mabilis ba or same lang po? How do I say this? I'm not really sure why, but UHE is parang yung main immigration office. So I would say na kaya siguro mas mahaba is because they're giving you a residency. So those things are not the same. The one you get in the Philippines is a 1-year Digital Nomad Visa. The one you get here is teletrabajador, karakter national residencia. So basically, it's a residence for digital nomad workers. So it is different, technically speaking. So that's why the rules and, you know, like stuff like that, the way you apply is also different. Yung virtual assistant po, kasama siya sa Digital Nomad Visa. Yes, so I pride myself that I am a virtual assistant, even though, kasi yun yung nasa contract ko, but definitely, even if iba-iba yung niche, everyone's welcome as long as you are a remote worker. So, kailangan mag-tourist muna dyan para makapag-lodge sa Spain. Yeah, tourist visa, visit visa. Some people use an easier digital nomad visa to get. Like, for example, Malta or Croatia, digital nomad visa. We've done that with clients. Para lang makapasok sila here without showing too much savings or anything like that. And then, how long do I need to stay there po? This is a very vague question. So, what do you mean? Like, pag stay here while waiting, like, anong meaning nung question na to? So, that needs to be elaborated more. Okay po ba mag-apply ng DMV sa Spain mga last week of July or vacation na po nila? No, vacation na nila yan. Apply on June. You're so full of wisdom. Thank you po. Uy, grabe mo, full of wisdom. I feel old. You know what's crazy? When I started in Spain, I felt so young. I was like, oh my God, yung mga first consultation calls ko and stuff are like older than me, and I feel weird of them calling me ate. And then the bigger the reach got, a lot of people are actually younger than me. So I'm like, wow, those people making this much money and they're so young. I'm so proud. And like, grabe talaga yung gig economy sa Philippines. It really works, you know. Like, this is why, as much as a lot of VA coaches get a lot of hate, it's also good that meron sila just to spread the word. I wouldn't buy their stuff, but like in a sense, like just to spread the word that, wow, there's a possibility. Because I still get comments here and there of like, what is a VA? What is this? Or what is that? Like, that's possible. Alam mo yun? So, it's really great that it's becoming a big industry. Kasi hindi naman maubusan ng client. Alam mo yun? So, naman tayo maubusan ng client. Talagang bumababa lang yung ekonomiya kaya mahirap na maghanap ng client ngayon. Ayun. Okay. Thank you po sa pagsagot ng mga tanong. Oh, thank you so much din, Instant Espresso. Okay. Wait. Pwede po ba? Okay, I think I answered that one as well. Okay, can somebody apply for DNV if they have an online business? It depends. So if your online business meets the minimum income requirement and you have to be an employee of that online business. So it has to be a corporation. So they don't see na you own the business. Pwede bang mag-Croatia DNV tapos mag-apply ng Spain DNV? Yes, you can definitely do so as well. The bad thing about Europe is there's too many Arabs harassing Christians. I'm gonna block you because that's such a racist thing to say. Because that's not what's wrong with Europe. I mean, what's the difference between us going to another country versus them going to another country? Like, that's not welcome on my page. We're not hating on anyone here. Unless it's the government that is bad. So, don't do that on my page. Ayun. Can you elaborate po dun sa Malta? I'll probably do it on another video. But the Malta Digital Nomad Visa is pretty straightforward. You just search it on Google. They have their own website. You can apply online. It's very straightforward there. It's all in English. So definitely check that out. But definitely I'll probably create a video about that if you're interested. Ano pong reason nyo? Ba't sa Spain po kayo mismo nag-apply? Why di sa Pinas? So, I applied actually in the Philippines because I was bringing my dog with me. And that's very expensive to bring your dog with. So, I applied in the Philippines. And also, I accumulated a lot of appliances and stuff. And I don't want to sell them until I was sure. But if I knew the difference, kasi around my time in 2024, no one really showed a DIY. Like, everyone was like, oh, it's impossible to apply by yourself. You have to get a consultant or a lawyer, whatever. Ganon. So, I was scared na how it works. And then, I just came here with the 1 year. And then, that didn't count for citizenship, by the way. So, that's why I'm pretty heartbroken about knowing that. Because that means I'm moving up my application to probably by 2027. Pa ako makakapag-apply for citizenship. But yeah, definitely, it's even harder now kasi yung 1 year hindi mo siya ma-renew ka agad. You have to wait for the 1 year to be almost expiring, like 60 days before expiration nung 1 year Digital Nomad Visa before you can apply for the 3 year. And my main point here that I say on the free consultations and stuff like that is that UHE is much more straightforward with what documents they need from you. Sa consulate, it's much more wishy-washy kung ano ba yung kailangan nila sa'yo, kung ano ba yung, ano ba tong meaning na to, wala naman to sa checklist, that type of stuff. Second is that we don't know if the Digital Nomad Visa would be here forever. You know, like one of the biggest visa here in Spain, yung Golden Visa, which you buy a property here in Spain and then you can reside here, that type of stuff. Something to boost their economy after the pandemic. Diniscontinue na siya like earlier last year. So, we don't know if the Digital Nomad Visa is gonna be here a while. And what if, let's say, nakakuha ka ng 1 year, and then you had to wait for that 1 year, and then na-discontinue na yung Digital Nomad Visa. Then parang, ang sad naman, nasayang lang yung 1 year mo dito, hindi ka nakapag-renew for 3 years. So, that's mainly my point with this. So, if kaya na dito mag-apply, I would suggest dito mag-apply. And also, it just makes everything a lot more smoother. It's much more straightforward. And to be honest with you guys, we've not just like if you look at all like the forums and stuff, walang na-approve sa consulate starting December. Walang approvals there from December applications to January. Kahit yung November applications, actually medyo wala kang makikita na parang, oh, na-approve kami ng 1 year, ganyan. Parang yung mga nag-apply pa to nung October pa, September pa, ganon. Yun yung mga na-approve. So, I definitely be a little bit wary of that as well. Saan po recommended to stay while waiting for DNV? I would suggest you stay where you already want to stay for long term. So, for example, nakapag-research na kayo ng cities you want to stay here. So, definitely, punta na kayo doon para ma-immerse nyo na yung sarili nyo. Gusto nyo ba talaga magstay doon? Kasi mamaya maganda lang siya in vlogs, you know, and stuff like that. Kasi yun lang yung mga nakikita nyong vlogger sa Alicante lang, sa Salamanca lang, sa Oviedo, ganyan. Then you didn't explore the rest of Spain. Maybe may mas magandang match pala sa inyo. Diba? What are the possible plans of someone who are availing the Digital Nomad Visa? This is a very vague question, but for me, my possible plan is to apply for Spain citizenship, which is fast-tracked with the 2 years for Latin Americans and or Latinos and Filipinos. Okay. Wag po muna mawala. Yung DNV, hintayin mo ako, DNV. Yes, I don't think it's going away soon. Because don't forget, it's not just us applying for this. Mainly, people that are applying for this are Americans, British people, ganyan, that are earning very high. And Spain is very happy about that because they need like 5 years to even get permanent residency here. And then they need like 10 years to apply for citizenship. So they'd be like, gobbling up that taxes for a long time, before they even get to like use social security systems fully. And so better po na tourist then mag-apply sa DNV sa Spain. Yes, definitely. Yeah, sayang talaga yung 1 year. I didn't want to tell you this news because I know a lot of people would be bummed out, but I did tell this naman with people that will be applying. But in regards to me, my personal situation, I don't want you guys to be bummed out. But yeah, I've been probably applying like closer to 2027 when I reapplied. Because I waited din eh. I waited muna yung 1 year if I wanted to really live here, if it's for me, before ako nag-renew for the 3 years. So, hindi ako agad nag-renew pagkarating ko. Kasi I was like, okay, let's see muna. Kung gusto ko dito mag-commit. Ganon. So, apparently, I did. And then, that didn't count. So, ayun. Paano po maghanap ng bahay dyan, Turan? I did do a post about it, but you usually use online or with an agent. I would suggest if you're in the smaller cities to hire an agent because they're definitely gonna make your life easier. You can find an apartment in a day and then move in the next day. Like, it's crazy how I hear those stories because here in Barcelona, took us a few weeks to find a very good apartment. And thank God, my sister-in-law lives here. So, we stayed with her for most of the time and then tsaka kami nag-apartment hunting. But it took a really long while. Of course, it's much more expensive. Cons po kaya nun if nag-transition Croatia to Spain DNB? Just a lot more paperwork to deal with, of course, but wala namang cons so far. Multiple Schengen visa entry basta naka-digital nomad visa ka kahit Malta yan, Croatia, Spain, nanggaling or Portugal. Do you assist with Croatia DNV po? For now, no, because we are still at kind of a testing phase. So I did some people's DNV for Malta and Croatia for free. Just so we can see the process. We brainstorm together, yung mga gusto mag-DIY. So I was like, okay, let's see. Then let's see if it actually works. If I did everything correctly and stuff. With Malta, we did have an approval already. But with Croatia, we're still waiting. Kasi medyo mas matagal ata yung wait time talaga doon. Okay. Let's do more. May na-assist na po ba kayo via consulate last December na wala pa update till today? Yes. And they're a family of 3. So, hanggang ngayon wala. Tapos nag-ask kami, additional document request ba? Wala naman daw. Ganon. So, and then another client of mine, nauna to sa kanila earlier December. Meron na palang additional document request, December 19 pa. Hindi kami na email. And nung nagtatanong kami ng update earlier January, wala namang sinabi. Like, walang as in radio silence. So, we were like, okay. Tapos nung mag-withdraw na siya ng application because we found out about this 1 year conflicting na hindi pala makagiging for citizenship. Then, nung nag-apply siya, nung nag-withdraw na siya ng application niya, tsaka binigay na meron palang additional document request nung December 19 pa. And it was so easy. Like, parang, like, may nakalimutang pirmahan. Or parang na-submit na namin na document, and then, nakalimutan lang pirmahan, siguro, I think. I think she didn't. I think she signed it, but for some reason, maybe it got lost in the sauce. And it was like, too easy of our additional document request. She would have been approved and it was just frustrating. If below minimum income requirement, mahirap talaga mag-digital nomad visa. So you have to be meeting the minimum income requirement. That's like one of the basic eligibility. Good for you, may kamag-anak kayo dyan pag wala, bali stay ka po muna sa Airbnb or hotel. Yes, 100%. Oh, I'm so grateful for her. She was very pregnant around that time and she was having a really hard time with her pregnancy. So I tried my best to help. But my God, she was so nice. And this is our first time meeting pate with my sister-in-law. So it was so nice to just live with them. Like, I always thought, because me and my partner come from very different countries, so I thought like I would have a problem with them, or maybe they wouldn't like it. So I was very hesitant to stay with them, but they were like the nicest people ever. And now I have my niece, and she's amazing. And yon. So it was just no, so nice. For me, I felt like this whole this whole 2 years was just an amalgamation of so many good things happening. If you guys didn't know, me and my partner have been in long distance relationships since 2020. Yeah, 2020, pandemic. Yeah, it's just, but we're together now for like 5 years. So 5 years, 6 years, 5 years. Yeah, we're together 5 years, and for most of that time we were long distance. So every 3-6 months we'd fly back to I'd fly to Germany, he'd fly back to like Philippines, like, so we'd go back and forth like that. But that was so much heartbreak for such a long time. And so it was so nice to just have this past years, like itong past 2 years, almost 2 years, to be just an incredible, blessed journey. I don't even believe in like supernatural stuff, but for me, I feel like it's just so much falling into place. Ayun, umiyak, ganon. If approved sa DNV insides of Spain, and my dependent will follow, can she enter Spain with tourist visa? Yes. So, how you would do it is like this. Ikaw muna yung papasok with tourist visa. Get approved for the DNV. And then, for sure naman yan, unless it's a complicated case, if it's your spouse, if it's your kid, if it's your elderly parents, straightforward case yan. As long as na-meet mo yung minimum income requirement, pasok lang sila with a tourist visa, and then tsaka mo sila i-apply. So, do not apply them yet until they are inside. Kasi if in-apply mo sila with residencia fuera de España, meaning the residence is outside of Spain, that would not work. Ang mangyayari dyan, kailangan nila ng 1-year visa from the consulate, which will be a prolonged process because they take really long with application. Where can I check more details about this? So we have our website, www.atainspain.com. Of course, you can check also Spain websites. The Ministerio did a very well job with their website and how accessible it is. But if you want the free DIY guide, we have it on our website. We have free consultation calls, and also we have our full-time services as well. Ayun. Saan makakahanap ng agent? It depends sa so for me, I didn't per se have a list of agents. So depende kung saan ka mag-i-stay, I would suggest kung sino yung ginamit ng mga people from there, yun. So that's why I say it's important to have a Filipino community para at least tested na nila. Because there's no foolproof way of knowing if it's a scam or not, right? So usually, if my clients want to move to Salamanca, I gave them an invite link with the people that are in Salamanca because they have a very warm community there. They help each other out very well. So I just like hey, andito nakapin na doon yung agents. So you can just contact the agents and you can ask people around how's the living situation there, that type of thing. How much salary should it be for the Digital Nomad Visa? For a single applicant, it's 2,849 euros for 2026 per month. Ayun. At recommended nyo na place to stay for DNV na hindi kamahalan. Salamanca is really good. Alicante is really good. A lot of people are now moving to Oviedo as well, and Zaragoza. I heard also Gihon is really nice. There's a lot of Filipinos out there. If you follow Sheena here on TikTok, she is a mom of 2 and she lives in Gihon. Pwede bang tourist lang muna? Yeah. So, you come here with a tourist visa and then you apply for the Digital Nomad Visa. Okay lang yan. At least kasama niyo po pet niyo. Yeah. Because he's also very anxious. So, hindi ko din alam if kaya ko siyang iwan for a prolonged amount of time with my mom or with someone else, Kasi if I travel, usually I just try to bring him as much as possible din. So, ayun. Medyo clingy. Meron kami sepangs. Ayun. If great-grandfathers from Spain, pasok ba great-grandchildren? How it works, well, first, tapos na yung La Memoria Democratica. Tama ba? La Memoria Democratica. But this scheme of the getting the citizenship through your ancestors is already like done last October 31, 2025. So I'm not sure if you can even apply. But apparently they will open soon again. But we just have to wait first. Ilang days po binibigay usually sa Schengen visa. Depends saan ka mag-a-apply, magkano savings mo, magkano yung gaano katagal yung itinerary mo. With Spain, they do give 90 days. Sometimes multiple entry, even if it's your first Schengen visa. So, I would suggest na sa Spain kayo mag-apply. Okay, and then we have magkano salary requirement, then anong proof need nila. We have the free DIY guide, nandun yung listahan, but basically contracts, COEs, it has to match the invoices, payslips, and your bank statement. And of course, that the company has been established or incorporated for at least a year. So, dapat 1 year na existing yung company na pinagtatrabahuan mo. Okay, next. How much po ulit monthly income para qualified sa... Oh, we just add... Okay, it's 2,849 euros per month. For 2026. This is the updated one for 2026. Kung solo po ba at di kasama wife, magkano ang dapat salary for DNV na may marentahan ka kahit salary na room? I think, so how to understand this, ha? So people are asking, like, enough ba yung minimum income requirement to live here in Spain and stuff like that? First, I moved here and in Barcelona with the minimum income requirement and barely any savings. I only brought with me, I think, around 2,000-3,000 euros. For my parang, okay, ito yung savings ko and stuff. Because I used to have MP2, parang nandun, parang multiple yung MP2 ko and stuff. So, most of my money was iniwan ko in peso back then. Not now, kasi, my God, nagka-crush na yung peso. So, not anymore. But, yun na yung savings ko. But think about it this way. The minimum wage, kasi dun naka-base yung minimum income requirement. Sa minimum wage here in Spain. So, if people are making half of what you make and they're able to survive with that, kasi yung minimum wage here, hindi to joke-joke lang. Minimum wage is actually livable here. Then, of course, mabubuhay ka. Like, walang problema. And of course, kung matipid ka, you're fine with a small room or sharing. You need to connect with our other DNV applicants then on our group on Facebook kasi it really helps make the process a lot smoother, you know, like, and if may kailangan kang kausap, it's so different. Like, I tell you, my best friend here in Spain, even though we don't see each other much, but she's coming here next week, and then we're going on a trip together, so I'm excited, but also, like, I'm telling you, we weren't even, like, I already, like, approved na ako, and she was still in the process around that time, and there were a lot of heartbreaking things that happened and stuff, but I feel like that made our friendship really grow, because not that we had a lot in common, but it's just that you're in the same boat, and it's nice to feel like, alam mo yun, supported na you're in the same boat. Oy, ano ba yung taas ng minimum income requirement? Okay ka pa ba? Ganon. Yung mga ganon. What's a digital nomad? So, digital nomad visa, I assume is what you mean. It's basically for freelancers or remote workers that want to stay or reside in Spain while still keeping their remote jobs. Pag dyan nag-apply sa Spain ng DNV, how long po ang process? It usually takes 20 business days. If yung husband ko po maghahanap ng work, ano po recommend work for men? It depends. Kasi if merong diploma yung husband mo and stuff, of course, that would be different. If you're talking about menial labor jobs, there's a lot of like restaurant jobs here that are easily available kahit nga wala ka pang TM minsan. So, I would definitely start on that. But of course, if you want more like white collar jobs, then it would depend on first your Spanish, how good it is, and then of course your credentials then to do that job. Gaano katagal na ITR ang need? Pwede ba iba yung amount from what is required sa salary? If you're applying in the consulate, no. If you're applying in Spain, your BIR certificate of registration is enough. Okay. Question po, paano yung mga taxes, insurance, etc. if you were hired by US employer during your time in the Philippines? So, we did discuss this earlier in the live, which you can watch the replay of this live on YouTube, yung pinaka full length on the YouTube channel Ate in Spain. I release it Monday kasi I'm just one person, guys. So, please bear with me. Ayun. Okay. Magkano po peso ang minimum income requirement para makapag-apply? It's right now 201,008 pesos per month. That is as of January 29 conversion rate, ha? So, always follow yung euro. PR ka na ba? So, I'm not applying for permanent residency. So, I am a resident here already through the Digital Nomad Visa path. And then, after 2 years of residency, I will apply for citizenship kaagad. Okay. Pinoy din po sila. No, he's not. He's Syrian. Ang tagal niyo pong LDR. Buti po nakayanan niyo. Sana all. Yeah, but also mainly because first we're both young. So we were we met at the start of our careers and then we peaked. So we had a lot. We had some money to like be a little bit irresponsible about it. So we come visit each other all the time. We met we met before the pandemic. Parang ano siya, like he went to University of the Philippines Los Baños for a semester, and then we met there. But I was like, introvert kasi ako, so I'm just like, and also in real life medyo maano ako, like how he describe it, like I'm a little bit of a loudmouth when I'm with my friends, so parang too big of a personality, ganyan. So that's why we didn't really hang out one-on-one like ever. And then pandemic hit, he had to go back to Germany, and then we play a lot of video games together. So dun lang tapos ayun, we were irresponsible with money for a while because we kept making it work, going back and forth, ganyan. But of course, it's like heartbreaking. It's like we have to say goodbye like way too many times for a regular couple. So, but otherwise than that, we were I think it's just a matter of like it felt like this was supposed to happen. It's like soulmate type of level stuff, ganon. So thankfully we got through it. Ano ba yun? So, yun. Ang lalim naman ng amalgamation. Hoy, sorry, be. Confused ako sa tax ng ibang nag-post ng DNV. May proper link site ba to check like calculations in Spain? That's what I mean. There's not really like, so I talked about that lovely earlier in the live. There's not really like site that's very accurate. I think the best way is to go on a free consultation with a tax accountant and ask them for a breakdown after the call on how much you should be expecting annually to pay. Kasi I think that would be much better. That's what worked for me, generally. Kasi ang akala ko nun, abutin ako yung mga calculator online and stuff, it's like 30%, something like that. And it took me so long to decide na, okay, like, mag-apply ako, ganun. But mainly, the deciding factor was, of course, yung LDR kami to bridge a little bit of that gap. But also because I was like, okay, hindi man pala ganun kabad yung taxes as what people have mentioned before. So, I was like, okay, then I'll do it. And around that time nung nag-apply ako, kasi mas mababa yung income requirement noon, and I only declared yung minimum income requirement. I was getting taxed about 20%, ganon. So, definitely, if nasa minimum income requirement ka, medyo mababa talaga siya. But, of course, if you go higher than that, medyo tataas siya. Pero yung mga nagsabi na 46% yung tax, siguro if you're like earning so much, like earning so much money. So, that's why it's important to have a tax accountant. Because, for example, for me, what the tax accountant said is like, create a corporation in the Philippines. So, all of for example, your company's funds would go there, and then Now, you will just be taxed based on your worldwide income, that type of stuff. And technically, another thing that we did was like more of, okay, for your business, you're actually an independent contractor instead of an owner of the business. So like, Ate in Spain is technically my mom's business and I'm just getting paid to do it, that type of stuff. But I think it would depend really on how you would strategize. And that's why it's good to hire a tax accountant on your first year. And then learn how to fill out these modelos, how to, like, you know, do the proper invoicing and stuff like that. And then you would be good to go. Ayun. Okay. Same na ba ang income sa PH and sa Spain? Yes. So, it's the same. To be honest, it was more of like before, it was always assumed 14 payments sa Philippines. And then here in Spain, it's 12-month payments. So, wala na yun ngayon. So, I think that's why a lot of people also are confused before. So, yun na siya now. Okay. Required na po ang ITR, right? In consulate, yes. What if project-based po yung work and you don't have a company? Baka ma-reach lang po yung minimum income requirement. So they don't want project-based work. They want work that is indefinite yung contract mo sa kanila. So yun yung ina-accept nila. Yes, correct yan, Mary Jane. Yung dependent pwedeng susunod, then tsaka siya, with a tourist visa, and then tsaka siya mag-apply. How long po ba mag-reply consulate once nag-follow up sa application? Usually within the week, they reply naman. Plan ko mag-apply ng Spain DNV, then follow na ng dependents ko after 3 months. Okay lang ba? Yes, definitely. Plan ko mag-apply ng Spain DNV. Okay, I do this. Okay, I already did that one. Required po ba ang SSS contribution if mag-apply through UHE? So, like I said, we're probably gonna do like a live stream probably on Sunday to reiterate some of the changes and to make you plan better for your 2026 application for the Digital Nomad Visa. So, with this kasi, bakit ba require daw yung SSS contribution? So, basically, what it means is that ngayon, naghahanap na sila ng proof of self-employed registration in your country of origin. So what does that mean? They want to see proof from the government na registered ka as a freelancer or self-employed. I think this is more of a compliance issue because maybe they are seeing na ang daming hindi nagre-register agad for social security and taxes and they want to make sure or ma-vet na, okay, ito nagbabayad siya sa country of origin niya. So for sure, dito magbabayad din. So, the things that you can use is first, yung SSS mo, you have to switch to voluntary. All they really need to see is that you're an active voluntary member. Second is yung BIR-COR, yung BIR Certificate of Registration, showing na either sole proprietorship or self-employed professional ka. So, with this kasi, it's important na nandun yung self-employed or nandun yung sole proprietorship because they wanna see nga na registered ka. We've had clients na especially nung November, December, na biglaan to na update, nag-BIR-COR sila like, nung hinanapan sila. And wala namang naging problema. However, sa inyo, wag nyo na yung hintayin. It's good na it's January because it looks like, kasi some countries do it yearly, yung BIR-COR nila. So, maybe like makakapass through talaga siya na ganon, na yung kakaano mo lang nung January nung BIR-COR. Another thing is, of course, if you are paying your taxes, you can use your annual income tax return. Dapat consistent yon sa kinikita mo. And then, dapat certified true copy, apostilled, lahat to. Other than that, yung another thing is yung DTI registration or yung mayor's permit. Pero kailangan nakalagay dyan, of course, medyo mas, so DTI registration, parang name mo, virtual assistant services or management consulting services, something like that. But kailangan nandun yung name mo. Ayun, I hope that clears things up with regards dyan sa proof of self-employed registration. Pag po ba resident ka na, pwede kang lumipat to work dyan from being digital nomad. Pag citizen ka na. Pag naka-DNV na, tapos kukunin ng family, need pa ba mag-present ng income para sa dependents? Yes. So, I would suggest na yung ipepresent mong income in your first application should be already meeting the minimum income requirement for your family. Where can you apply for remote jobs? There's a lot. There is, of course, Upwork, OLJPH, may mga small startups na din now. But I feel like it's very good to watch out in LinkedIn as well. Okay. Ano pong mic gamit nyo? I don't know. I just found this on Amazon. It's a very cheap mic. I mean, probably can hear how cheap it is. But I do my research. I think you don't usually buy anything like branded or anything like that. I am a snob because I grew up poor, so I've always been a snob with stuff like that. Like I'm sour graping yung tawag. So I don't buy anything expensive. The only thing expensive I probably ever bought is an iPhone, and that's just mainly because maybe it takes better photos, and it didn't really. I don't see much difference. Ayun. So again, my point has been proven na just because it's branded doesn't mean it's always good. Anong work mo po? I'm a web developer / a product manager. Okay. Sorry, ang dami kong that's probably annoying. Applied last December 23rd, then wala pa po update till now. Sent a follow-up but no reply. Okay. Magkano salary? Okay, I think we already did this. Okay, what is your niche po? Okay, I already did that. What about your unmarried partner applying a student visa? Yeah, but that's separate. Wala naman problema if they apply for a student visa. That's a separate visa. We don't have to declare him or anything like that. Yung minimum income requirement ba from one company lang? You can do multiple clients, multiple companies. Walang problema. I'm amazed na kaya pala talaga mag-earn ng requirements sa Spain. Dito sa PH, I wish the same for me. I'm manifesting that for you. And maybe, yan na yung sign na baka nilolowball mo yung sarili mo. Kasi there are a lot of Filipinos that are already here. So, for sure, it is possible. And I've heard a lot of niches. We are closing to like 600 free consultations since June of last year. So, for sure, like, you definitely would qualify like somehow. It's just more of like intentional ka na ngayon. Okay, ito yung marireach ko pala to, ganyan. So, wag mo na i-lowball yung sarili mo. Ano po yung best mobile plan? Okay, so with people that moved here in Spain, what I always say is, depends yan kung saan sa area mo, ano yung malakas. Kung usually i-ask mo dyan yung either yung landlord mo, neighbors mo, or yung mga Filipinos near you. Kasi alam nila kung ano yung malakas, ano yung mahina. For example, for me, the first thing I got was Vodafone. And then, it didn't really work out. So, I switched to Orange na mobile plan. And I pay about like 10, 12 euros, ganon, with tax. Ganon. Nalito ako, ITR not needed sa UHE. So, if nalilito kayo guys, we have the free DIY guide. And also with this, not necessarily needed siya sa UHE. So, you can go either of those proof of self-employed registration. Pero kung wala ka lahat ng proof, ITR lang yung meron ka, then better present your BIR, Certificate of Registration, instead of your ITR kung hindi ka nagpapasa ng correct na amount. Kung hindi ka nagde-declare ng correct na amount. Okay, next. Okay, I answered that as well. If may Spanish ancestors, pwede ba mag-apply ng Spanish passport? For now, no, because na-discontinue na yung Ley Memoria Democratica. So, we have to wait until they announce that it's open again. How much po required monthly income for Digital Nomad Visa? So, it's actually 2,849 euros per month. And that's 201,008 pesos in peso. And this is the same na for Philippines and in Spain. And this is for 12-month payments for out of the year. So, meaning monthly. So, if you are getting paid weekly, bi-weekly, you'll probably be okay with a little bit lower than that. But definitely watch out for the annual one, which is around 30. I put it on here. It's 34,188 euros yung annual. And then this is for allowed yung multiple clients, and this is before taxes. Ayun. Are you using GHL po for web developing? Yes. Anong best month to mag-apply sa Spain? Walang best month, but there are months you need to avoid. Like July, August, because the administrative process is very slow around that time. And December and January, because those months usually marami masyadong holidays. And you know, they get a lot of paid leave here, so usually they use that during the holidays, because holidays here is also very festive, like Christmas and stuff. Actually, the Christmas here hindi siya nag-end ng 25, you know, like it's kind of like in the Philippines, may Three Kings din dito, which is an even bigger parade. Ayun. Ilang days po binibigay sa inyo sa Schengen visa nyo? So, nakadepend to sa country, how much your savings is. We have the free Schengen Visa bank calculator to calculate your savings. So definitely check that out on our website. It's www.ateinspain.com. So that's ATEINSPAIN.com. And we do have it on the link in my bio din naman. Ilang percent po ang success rate nyo sa na-assess nyo for DNV? So, it is kind of unfair to say this, ha? Not bragging or anything, but kasi I have multiple stages of qualifying people. First and foremost, we have the free consultation calls or the emergency paid consultations. But with those pa lang, I am very upfront early on if makakapasa ka or not. Because I do have the refund program, right? So I do have the 50% refund policy. So I don't wanna lie to anyone. Like, okay, if di ka makakapasa, mababa yung chances mo, may problems sa documents mo, that type of stuff. I qualify you very early on. Like, people that did the free consultations with me already know that. Na I have a system on how I qualify them, and I give you ano yung step-by-step process mo, ano yung strategy for your case. And then it's up to you if you want to DIY it or with consult. So I don't pressure anyone, because after all, this is a passion project for me. I only take a limited amount of clients because I want it to be as much as possible. Yung maging friends tayo more than like me being your consultant or anything. I have systems in place. Like I said, I use GHL as my CRM and stuff like that. So a lot of the stuff I do, I have automations and stuff like that. Like you can probably see that when you download something in my, or book a free consultation call, you get, you know, like email reminders and stuff like that. So I'm very type A type of person, and I have my own dashboard and stuff like that. Kind of guides you to the process. Pero I don't qualify you, or I don't take your money if you're not qualified. Second, on the discovery call, kasi ito na yung time na mag-deep dive tayo. Tatanungin ko yung name ng companies, hahanapin natin kung registered na ba sila for a year, magkano talaga yung kinikita mo, ano yung, like, can I see your payslip, can I see your COE mo, that type of stuff. So I ask those important questions, and usually dito rin lumalabas if may problem na hindi nila na-mention before. And if there is a major problem, hindi magagawa ng paraan, I give their money back fully. So, okay, I cannot take your case. You're better off if magdi-DIY ka. Kasi if you wanna try it, even though may risk involved, then do it DIY. So, you don't have to pay anyone. You keep your cost to a minimum. So, it is kind of unfair, but I do have a 100% approval rate in UHE, and that's out of, right now, about 86 submissions. And in consulate, though, I have had 4 denials and 3 withdrawals. So, yung 4 denials is all coming from around the time that there were changes in consulate. So, wala silang ITR. And then, etong si consulate, sinasabi they don't meet the minimum income requirement, even though they do. So, that's why I'm very passionately telling you, wag kayo sa consulate mag-apply, because, like I said, wala ka pang marinig na nag-approve anytime recently. So, what does that say about it? If you're seeing a lot of people getting approved in UHE, and then no one in consulate, you know, it says something. So, definitely that's why I say to avoid it. But that is out of like about almost 20 something submissions in the consulate. But I rarely do applications in the consulate na talaga. Kasi it's very just tumultuous. And I don't really have my full heart belief on it. But of course, if gusto mo talaga mag-consulate, hindi man kita pipilitan na, kailangan Spain ka, ganon. But of course, I give you the risks very early on. Okay, next question tayo. White labeled po yung GHL nyo. Yes, I white labeled mine. Ano po yung UGE? So, it's Unidad de Grandes de Empresas. It's basically the Immigraciones here in Spain. It's the Office of Immigration na nagdi-deal with the Digital Nomad Visa process. What is there minimum age requirement to get the visa? Yeah, you have to be at least 18 years old. Magkano po in peso yung required? It's 201,008 pesos po per month. How much po ba for Spanish citizenship po? Curious lang. What do you mean po? Like, what do you mean how much po yung... So, hindi binibenta yung Spanish citizenship unlike, for example, in Luxembourg. So, walang ganon. So, it's like for citizenship via residency. Yung for us Filipinos. So, may application na po sa US pag may priority date. What do you mean? I'm sorry. Kaya gusto ko muna maghanap ng better income here sa PH while waiting. Just finish submitting via consulate. Whatever the result is, I'm very happy with your guidance. Oh, thank you so much, April. Curious lang po, after 2 years, mag-apply po kayo Spanish resident visa. No po. Mag-apply ng Spanish citizenship. So, the Spanish residence is already the Digital Nomad Visa. It's a residency type of visa. So, after 2 years, citizenship na po. So, makakuha ka na ng Spanish passport after 2 years. Trying po sa US, but still waiting pa po sa priority date ng visa. Okay. Sorry. Ilang days po binibigay sa inyo Schengen visa? It depends. Okay, next. OFW po in Singapore, gustong lumipat to Spain. Ano pong best way? I'm not really sure with regards with other types of visa because I'm that type of person that I'm not comfortable to give people the wrong information, especially if it's like, I admit if I don't know something. So with that kasi, I think it's best, ang best route mo talaga is to have a company that will sponsor you to work in Spain. Kasi ang dami dito na like better paying jobs elsewhere, and then pagpunta dito, they're stuck with like, you know, black under the table jobs, and that's getting paid very low. Ayun. Okay. Sana may mag-open na sked. Gusto na namin mag-consult sa'yo. Yeah, I really would like that if you don't confirm your call 48 hours before the consultation, it gets automatically canceled so that I can offer that consultation hours to somebody else. Kasi, para naman akong syusyunga-syunga dito, di ba? Kasi from 9 a.m., so I wake up at like 8, I tingnan ko agad yung mga message ng clients ko and stuff. And then around 10, I start the calls, and then up to 3 p.m. ako nasa call. So parang sayang naman yung oras ko if hindi ka nag-cancel, 'di ba? Tapos and also if na-cancel siya, just reach out to me, guys, and I can reinstate it. That's just more of like, okay, if itong person na to, so hindi ko pala kailangan magising maaga kung wala naman pala akong calls that time, or at least I can post it in the group na, hey, tomorrow I'm free, kung sino yung una mag-chat dito, like I'll give it ganyan, yung mga ganon. I think you can put aside mo next time in table yung monthly minimum wage requirement since marami nag-ask. Yeah, so we did try that, but the problem is, first, ang problem kasi meron dati dito, parang yung, yung question and stuff. Kasi sobrang crowded niya pag ina-upload namin. So, I don't like the look of it, but I'm trying to have a better board, or maybe next time parang naka-green screen or something. We'll see. Ayun. How much po ulit required income from PH applicants sa DNV? Same na po sila. So 2,849 euros. But thank you so much, by the way, Dora Muhi. Dora Muhi? Dor Trying to find the pun in the name. Thank you so much. I think I know the answer, but bakit need ng Schengen visa pag na-approve ka sa OHE pero pinas ka na? I'm not sure what he's referring to. I'm sorry. Anong city po mas mura cost of living? A lot of the smaller cities have a like cheaper cost of living, like Salamanca, Alicante. Alicante is still getting a little bit more expensive. 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 Oh my god, my mouth doesn't work anymore. VA ka po? Yes po. Need at least 200k plus monthly income? Yes. Luxembourg is another country here in Europe. Ano pong meaning ng UHE? It's Unidad de Grandes de Empresas. So, it's basically yung parang consulate dito sa Spain, ganon. Can you compare po yung summer heat sa Manila versus Barcelona? Not comparable at all. Like, Manila is just too, the air quality is too bad and it's a little humid. Here, it's very dry, which messed up my skin the first few months I was here. I had to really like switch. Hindi na nag-work yung mga Korean products ko. Also, I didn't know where to get them anymore. So, I switched to completely like Spanish, like skincare. But that worked. But definitely it is a little bit drier. Plan ko kasi magstay lang ng 7 days. If ma-approve, I read na need pa rin ng Schengen visa to enter. Yes, you do. Because technically, what you get from UHE is just an approval letter. So it's just an online PDF. That does not have any of your fingerprints. So it won't matter kung ipakita mo yun sa immigration, sa border, right? Hindi ka nila papapasukin. So that's why you need another Schengen visa to enter back again. And then once nandito ka na, kumuha ka na ng TIE, ganun. Sis, skincare reco, every time I go to EU, sobrang nagbibitak yung mukha ko. So, I have two. Biglang naiba yung topic. Pero, I have two skincare recommendations. Is first, before water-based serum. Yung gamit, or like water-based yung gamit ko. And then here, like oil-based na yung gamit ko for everything. I think just my face need the oil. I was so scared to do that first kasi, I don't know, hindi talaga ako ma-pimple na person. And then, I was scared na baka this will magulat yung skin ko and stuff. Pero, yeah, it worked out. And now I feel like mas healthier. I do get pimples now though. For every once in a while. Pero, like, for example, if hindi ako magwash ng face for a day, like, I for sure will wake up to something. Pero I think that's good then. Para at the end of the day, lagi akong kailangan kumalma, gano'n. Do you use La Roche-Posay or Aven skincare line? I don't, because my skin doesn't react well to them. I use more of Isana, medyo drugstore brands because for some reason yung Isana Med, para siyang no fragrance, no nothing ganon. That worked so well for my skin more than La Roche-Posay. Kasi for me, parang medyo may irritant doon na that doesn't work well with me. Ayun. Okay, next question tayo. You can pin a message sa live. Oh my God! How? How do I do that? Wait. Oh my God! Yes, you can! So, kailangan ko lang mag-comment before the start of live. Tapos, yun pala yung pwede kong ipin. Oh my God! See? You guys know so much better. That's why I love the VA community because you guys teach me so much. Okay, next time ganun yung gagawin ko. So, I'll do probably yung sa salary, like, and then some reminders. I always put like allowed yung multiple clients, like ano yung mga kailangan contracts and then maybe the website as well where you can book a free consultation and stuff. Oh my God, thank you so much, Nila. That's so great. Yeah, because I was like so bothered yung boards dito na may ganun. Kasi hindi siya lagi pumapantay and nakakairita siya. So, ayun. Client mo ako pero made TikTok just to see you and uses different name. Ano ba yan? Parang ano, parang reveal, client reveal. Ayun, but thank you so much guys for being here and having so much fun with you guys. I know we've been in live for like 2 hours. Oh my god. But thank you so much for joining me to this live and so thankful for you guys. Ayun, kasi it's just so much positivity. So that's why when there's any hate out there, and I'm sorry if your post gets denied sometimes in the group, when it has any obscenity, like doesn't adhere to the group rules sa DIY guide natin sa Facebook. I'm sorry if it gets denied. I cannot do all of this by myself, so I have to put some automations in place. Ayun. When approved for citizenship, can you keep both Spanish and Filipino passport forever? Yes, you are allowed to do double citizenship. Hi ate, hindi namin nakapag-update. Hi Shaina, no worries, walang problema at all. Yeah, makapaghintay naman yan. Ayun. But thank you so much, guys, for joining me at this week's live. Everything is that I've talked about is in the link in my bio and on the website. I'm pretty much, I said, an organized person. So everything that I probably talked about is on the website. And it's pretty like madali namang manavigate. If you have any problems, I'm opening it. Just feel free to email us at contact@ateinspain.com and I'll be able to like get to it and make sure I fix it. Ayan. Thank you so much guys for watching this week's live. And I hope I see you on Sunday where we'll have probably a live stream. But I'm still going back and forth and I'll announce it here later on the day. Ano yung ano natin. But basically I just want ngayon, kasi ito yung hinihintay ko eh, yung update sa minimum income requirements. So I can do a long form video explaining step by step and parang similar vibes on when you have a free consultation with me because then at least sa free consultation, you know what to expect na din. Ayun. Other than that, thank you so much for watching and I hope you guys have a great rest of your weekend. Magpahinga kayo or I don't know, go party hard depending on how you want to spend your weekends. But thank you so much for watching. Ciao! Thank you so much. Bye.